My Wife and the Coach, posted by Reddit user Losing Out.
Sorry for the long post. My wife and I are 33, married 11 years. We live in a once rural area that is fast becoming a suburb to a medium-sized metro area. Our high school graduating class had a little over 200 kids, now approaching 500 grads. I grew up on a farm. When I was 6, my mother just never came home one day. So my dad raised me. I took on my farm duties. In other words, I worked hard. Eventually my dad quit farming, he leased his fields to other farmers. He took a factory job. He invested his lease proceeds into buying up more land. Through the Great Recession, he acquired many properties. On one of these properties there was a house he gave to me to fix up and start a family. It's in a trust with his other property, but we pay all the bills. My wife grew up lower middle class. A great family that always treated me well. They moved to the area while we were in junior high. We dated all through high school and were married once I had a steady job. Before then, I did everything to earn $1. Need to haul junk out of a barn, folks would call me. Need your house painted, I can do it. If you get what I mean. We have an 8-year-old son. She is a stay-at-home mother. Now, I am a route driver for a large snack company. I am close to buying my route from the company. I have more than doubled the size by going into every mom and pop store, grocery and gas station, and selling as much product as I can. I have a large area because the surrounding area is still rural. My plan is to finish buying the route, then I can buy another truck. The plan was to have the wife run the second truck. There is projected supercenter grocery and merchandise to be built in the next year in my area. If I own the route, it will be mine. If not, the company can split my route. So, I need to finish buying the route. We have been married since a couple years out of high school. Our marriage hit some rocky spots, I think because I put in long hours. I try to be there, but admittedly am not. We have had lots of fun and love our boy with every fiber of ourselves. He is the typical boy. He is now into sports. He played basketball in the winter, baseball this past spring, and is now into flag football. So, we hit a low spot relationship-wise in the spring. My wife and I talked about it and each made promises to do better. Late April through mid-June, our sex life went off the charts. We could not get enough of each other. To be honest, I may have been getting too much because I was dog-tired but still ran my route. My son was playing ball. I never missed a game, but I did not hit all his practices. With most youth sport the dads take an active role in the coaching or helping out. I just could not give that commitment. My wife stepped up and helped out when needed. The baseball coach, Ted, is an ex of a very good friend from high school, Mary. She was the smartest kid in school. She went on to college, that's where they met. They married and soon had a son who is also 8. Their marriage hit the skids. Mary moved back home 3 years ago to have help watching the boy by her parents. Ted moved here 2 years ago to be close to their son, and I think to win Mary back. The mid to end of June, we sink back into our rut. We talk again in July, promise to recommit. We take a vacation. Still the relationship is bumpy. Mid-August comes around, the bedroom heats up again. Then cools after just a couple weeks. September hits, and we are in a dead bedroom. I beg my wife to talk, but she says nothing is wrong. My son starts playing flag football. He loves it. They practice a couple days a week and play on Saturday. I drop by a practice and see my wife and Ted with a clipboard running the kids through drills. There are a couple dads helping too. I had no idea she was helping. So, I mention it when we get home. My son is excited and shouts out, "She's not helping, she's a coach." It seems when signing the son up, she volunteered to be an assistant coach. I think it's great. This seems to consume a ton of time. The wife is constantly texting, some calls, but generally when I am there it's texting. They go to Ted's place every day after school, and he works his son and mine out. He is teaching them how to be better, and it really shows as they are the 2 best players on the team. So, their first game comes, I work in the morning and make it to the field for the game. The wife and Ted are side by side giving directions. Someone sets a chair down next to me. It's Mary. We watch the game. About halftime, she asks if the wife and I are doing okay. I tell her sure. I look over at her and she is staring at me. So, I ask what? She said her son came home after being at Ted's, it had been raining so there was no workout. They spent the afternoon playing video games. Her son went to the kitchen to get more juice and saw Ted and the wife kissing. He ran back to the game and told Mary that night at home what he saw. I get up at 4 in the morning every day to drive 45 minutes to the warehouse to get my truck. So, Monday morning I got up at 3:30 to check her phone. She had changed the password. After a few tries, I figured out what it was as she uses like 4 or 5 different ones for everything. There I saw text after text. Some nudes. So, I took screenshots of some. Usually, I have one day that I spend in town. I sometimes would come home for lunch if I took one. Especially when there was a lot of sex going on. I got home and she was not there. I called her, but she did not pick up. I drove by Ted's place and her car was there. I finished my route. She told me she was at the store. She was sorry she missed me. I told her I was just trying to surprise her. Not a big deal. The next week, on the same day, I again let her know I was coming home for lunch. I was parked down the way from Ted's. How she did not see my big old truck is beyond me. She came running out of Ted's. Got in her car and raced home. I followed slowly. When I arrived, she was making me a sandwich. We had a nice conversation. Saturday, after the game, I took my son home, had him change and took him to my dad's. They were going to fish in the pond and if he wanted, he could swim. I went home. Of course, the wife was not there. So, I drove to Ted's. Her car was there. I called her. She was kind of annoyed, then I asked what she was doing at Ted's. It was just silence. Then talking over the game. I told her to put her clothes on and come home. She swore at me and hung up. When she finally did come home, I was sitting at the table. She again swore at me for accusing her of something. I asked that she sit down. She refuses, getting more agitated by the minute. I told her a little more forcefully to shut up and sit down. Let me say my piece. I had a folder which she asked what was in it. I told her to sit down so I can show her. I started pulling out screenshots of her texts. She went ballistic that I would snoop in her phone. I then pulled out the more incriminating texts. She tried to explain it away. Then I pulled the nudes out. She shut up. I told her we were done. I would give her until the following Sunday to be out. I was going to an attorney Monday. Take her clothes and personal stuff. We will figure everything out later. She just sobbed. She said how sorry she was. I just asked a question that I saw on a Reddit advice sub. What did you think would happen when I found out? She had no answer. I have stayed at my dad's since the weekend. I brought my son back on Sunday so he could catch his bus to school on Monday. I had explained to him that mom and dad would not be living together anymore, but he would still live in his house. I got home tonight and all her stuff was gone. There was a note that said she would drop my son off after practice. We had agreed she would pick him up after school. She could stay until I got home or I would pick him up at her parents'.
OP, you need to expose the coach as well. You don't want scumbags like that being a role model to anyone's children. You need to tell the school that he works at. Get him fired. Tell all of his friends and family. Make sure he can never work or live peacefully in your hometown ever again. As for your cheating wife, tell your lawyer first about your plan of buying your route before you do anything. That bitch might get more from you in the divorce if you don't consult a lawyer. Make sure to protect your assets and bank account, OP. It's for you and your son. Never let that cheating wife of yours take anything more from you if you can. Also, don't forget to tell everyone she knows about her infidelity. Divorce court will surely not give you justice, so make sure to serve it yourself. Oh, don't forget to tell Mary thank you if you haven't already. Get her a small gift if you can. Your wife would have continued cheating on you without any remorse if Mary hadn't exposed her infidelity. OP, that soon-to-be ex-wife of yours will surely try to win you back. But don't fall for it, no matter what tactic she uses. You must be strong. Always remember her immediate hostility when you accused her. She's going to do her best to make you think she would have never done anything to hurt you on purpose. But when she was in danger of being found out, her first reaction was to try and tear you down. If you don't make sure your friends and family know the truth, she will absolutely lie in order to make you seem like the bad guy, including to your son. It's not a tough call to make, because if you tell your family the truth, She will just accuse you of being vindictive. So what if you are? It was her fault. She cheated on you, lied to you, betrayed you, and she destroyed your family. Now, your son is forced to grow up in a broken family because his mother decided that fucking another guy is more important than having a stable family home. But in order to protect your own reputation and relationship with your son, you need to make sure that they know exactly what happened. Her first response shows her lack of remorse, and the way she was annoyed when you called her tells you that she was in the middle of getting fucked or something else and she didn't want to be bothered. And when she cursed at you after you told her to put her clothes on, she was big time deflecting to put in your head that you are the crazy one for even thinking about that. Good thing you had screenshots of messages and pictures to shut her up. She's just trash, and she always will be. Don't even try to ask her how long it's been going on, or if there was anyone else, because you will never know for sure. Just divorce and blow up your wife and her affair partner's life as much as you can. Affairs thrive in the dark, so the more light you shed on the affair, the quicker you will ruin everything for them. And what's a better light show than going nuclear revenge? Now, let's check out OP's update if he did exactly that.
It's been a couple weeks, so I thought I would update you all. Thank you first for all the kind words and advice. I did read all. I cannot cut her out of my life. We have a young son together. It hurts to see her. We have filed for the divorce. She will be served next week. I am not going to do anything to embarrass her like serving her at a game, etc. I told her the papers are coming. She wanted some things from the house. My attorney said no. She can petition, I think that's the word he said, when she answers the court for certain items. Myself, there is not much I care for, so she probably can have them. What she wanted was not her personal stuff like clothes and makeup. Many have asked what she is doing with herself now. She is still at her parents' house. My son goes there most days until I get home from work. I have been trying to finish up by 5 p.m. most days, not working the extras. My attorney is working with another to keep my business out of the proceedings. My dad has offered to buy my route and hire me as an employee, if that's what it takes. I will have to pay her support. We will share custody. It's lonely at home after my son goes to bed, but I am dealing with it. I have a couple projects to keep me busy. I have lots of friends offering all kinds of help, from babysitting to meals. Last Saturday at the game, most of the parents that came all clustered around me with their chairs, instead of spreading out along the sidelines. I was very touched. We have only this week's game and playoffs, and then we are done. Basketball will be next. All the parents I have talked to will request Ted not be their child's coach, including Mary. Many have asked about Mary. She has been my friend for so many years. Many have asked about ending up with her. First, the pain of separation really still hurts. I can't see myself doing anything other than adjusting to my new life and providing for my son. I mentioned that Mary was the smartest kid in our school. She is so far out of my league. I would only hold someone like that back. We are sharing the hurt. It's her ex that moved here to maybe reconcile.
OP, Mary is not out of your league. She wants exactly the same thing you do, an honest and loving relationship. You're ambitious, working hard to improve not just your life, but your son's life as well. Let's not forget that you are a loyal and loving partner. For me, those are qualities of an amazing life partner. It's everything she was looking for. So when you feel that you can love again, OP, just go for it and ask Mary out. Don't sell yourself short, my friend. Also, you owe Mary a drink for telling you about the affair. Heal up and stay strong for your son. You don't need to be a unit with your ex-wife. You need to focus on your son and make her step up and match your effort. Your mindset on this is all wrong, and I can't comprehend why you allow the affair partner to still coach your son. He's not too young. He should know the truth. He deserves to hold his mom accountable and deserves to know exactly who the real villain is and the role his coach played in the destruction of his family. Telling the kids age-appropriate truth about infidelity should always happen. Always. It's simply good parenting, even though most people's instinct says different. Despite what we older folks think, this is just the truth. Kids are not stupid when it comes to these topics. Ask any child about infidelity. Not being told the truth is the biggest source of their resentment. If you wait for too long, your ex-wife will lie to him, manipulate him, and make you look like the bad guy. And if that happens, your son will resent you instead. While I am a little disappointed that you didn't serve her the divorce papers during the game, thus exposing them to everyone present and ruining their reputation, it was still nice that the other parents supported you and will try to get them fired. You should have done that yourself, by the way. I wish you the best, OP. Good luck. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to Patson to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.